Well, ladies and gentlemen, one of the things that I say quite often is that the gaming industry as a whole is extremely rotten to the core. Like from deep down, from all the way up to the lowest employee, the gaming industry is extremely rotten. When people talk about these DEI consultancy firms, you guys don't realize they're just like a virus in the ultimate body that is known as the gaming industry. They're one of many viruses, but there's a lot. There is a lot of viruses in the gaming industry right now, and you're going to see a lot of examples of this coming out over time, especially recently when we see all the exposing of the community managers from multiple different game development studios. Now, apparently, the systems design director at Respawn Entertainment, his name is Raim Vincent, defends the Fallout community manager who claimed that the broader community of white people are racist. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it should not be too shocking that somebody in the mainstream gaming industry defended somebody else in the mainstream gaming industry. This should not be very shocking at all. And listen, birds of a feather flock together. They are going to absolutely stick by each other when it comes to the current attack that they're experiencing right now, because they're the ones that attacked us many times first. They're the ones that attacked gamers. They're the ones who hate gamers. They're the ones who can't stand us. And now that they can't control the narrative, now that the field is fairly open for the most part, and we can have a discourse about it, they don't like that. They don't like the conversation happening. They don't like the discourse happening on it right now, and they would much rather if they can control the narrative like they did 10 plus years ago. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. It says Respawn Entertainment System Design Director Raim Vincent took to social media to defend Prime Video's Fallout community manager Liana Rupert. Now, Liana Rupert, man, oh my God, the kind of tweets that came out from Liana Rupert is everything that you would expect from a white liberal in current modern day. I mean, they are littered with white guilt. They are littered with virtue signaling. They are littered with every single emoji, flag, and pronoun in the bio that's possible in the human language. They have everything that you would imagine. Every single checkbox for a white female liberal, especially, they have that. It's not too shocking. It says former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern shared a number of screenshots from Rupert about white people, including one that claims that you cannot be racist against white people and that the broader community of white people are racist. Sorry, not fascist, although I'm sure they believe that too. Now, the funny thing is, Alyssa Mercante said basically the same exact thing. All of these community managers are saying the same exact thing. Look at Compulsion Games. Compulsion Games community managers said the same exact thing. They're all trained to think and act and talk the same exact way. They all take the same DEI courses. They all share in the same DEI Discord chats. They all literally live and breathe DEI as like their religion. So you got a ton of tweets here. We went over this on Hypnocast, 9 p.m. every single day, Sunday through Friday. It says specifically, Rupert made the claim that non-white people cannot be racist while attempting to defend Star Wars host Christina Ariella's anti-white posts, and that the responses she received after they were made public back in 2021. Rupert wrote in response to individuals reacted to vitriol to Ariel, "Don't be so effing disgusting. Christina is incredibly talented. She's at Star Wars because she earned this, and as white people need to stop taking the race talk as a personal attack and instead as a lesson and how it is to that we could do better. Historically, we haven't." Now, the white guilt, there it is. I mean, I literally said it. Now, we went over this already. We don't really got to talk about this too much, but let's continue down and see what was actually said by more people. It says later in the same thread and shared by Kern, Rupert asserted that the broader community of white people is racist. Rupert wrote, "You're taking it personally as per my original post and need to stop. When POC say white people, they're saying the broader community that is still very much inherently racist. You don't get to dictate that, neither do I. As white people, sorry, that's not up for debate." Yeah, of course it's not up for debate because you can't actually debate it. You can't actually debate it. You can't actually conversate about it, have a discourse. It's impossible. So you want to close off the conversation before anybody can ask any questions. Then it says Vincent defended these comments, writing on X, again, with the grifting and griefing from this boring lot. At this point, you can assume that anyone they single out and preyed on, like Liana Rupert here, is a person worth knowing and standing next to. You can ignore the mean losers. The mean losers. Oh no, not the mean words, ladies and gentlemen. We can't have mean words online. Mean words online is just not allowed. It's going to make everybody get emotional. You know, I mean, listen, you're going to have people like this, so they're going to do one of two things, right? They're going to simp for a woman that they're never going to get. And I don't really think that's the case with this, but let's just say it might be. And number two, ultimately, they're going to defend what gives them money. They're going to defend their status quo. They're going to defend the old guard. They need to. They have to. They have to defend the mainstream gaming industry because right now that's all they have. So they're going to call us grifters, they're going to call us griefing, and they're going to call us boring. But the funny thing is, we call all them that because they grift, they racially grift all the time. They're the ones that are griefing gamers all the time, and they're the ones who are boring. They're the ones who need their sexuality on full display and talked about 24/7 because they have nothing else to offer. They have nothing else to talk about. Nothing else in this world that they can actually advocate for or enjoy or try to pass off to someone else. No, they need to talk about who they slept with for the day. They need to talk about what their sexuality is. They need to talk about what they could virtue signal for. That is how boring they are. So it's funny that these people would call us boring when they're the ones that are in fact extremely boring. Then it says, according to Vincent's LinkedIn, he's worked at Respawn for 14 years, beginning as a senior software engineer in 2010. He remained in that position until 2018. He appeared to have been promoted to senior game designer in 2018 and stayed in that role until 23. In 23, he was promoted to systems design director. Before working at Respawn, he worked as a programmer at Infinity Ward from December 2005 to March of 2010. So, listen, guys, honestly, this is not too much shocking news, okay? This is a person who is in the mainstream gaming industry, and this person sees another person in the mainstream gaming industry that's getting attacked because they attacked other people. They never want to talk about, oh, why did this happen in the first place? That's not something that's up for debate, right? They never want to have a conversation about that because they know if you have to admit that you started this nonsense, that it's going to just give value to the argument of the other side, which happens to be gamers. So everybody knows with a brain that gamers are the one that get attacked 24/7, especially the mainstream media. We get attacked all the time. It's ridiculous. All we do is usually react to it. We have reactionary content on YouTube, or sometimes you'll get people on Twitter that will give reactionary comments and talk about the article that was linked or the headline they saw or whatever the case may be. But ultimately, nothing is going to change anytime soon because the rot is extremely deep. The rot has completely taken over the mainstream gaming industry. I don't know how many more people that we need to have exposed for being god-awful human beings before people are going to realize they're all like this. There is so many of them like this, and yes, there is a few. There is absolutely a few that are trying to fight it right now. There are a few of them that are leaking stuff. There are a few of them that are leaking Zoom calls. They're trying to fight from the inside, but unfortunately, it is very few and far between. There is not enough people on the inside fighting against this nonsense, and we need to make them realize that, hey, you can feel more comfortable coming out against this nonsense. Don't worry about your job. Don't worry about your income, because I promise you it will get better. You are absolutely enabling these losers to take over your life and have complete control over you. We already said this in my last video. It's not very fun to be around these community managers. Imagine someone walking in who's a community manager for your company, and the moment they walk in, you think to yourself, oh shit, let me not talk to them because the last thing I need is something misunderstood and for me to get canceled. Nobody wants to deal with that. It is such a terrible, it's like walking on eggshells. It's terrible, it's boring, and nobody wants to deal with that when they're trying to make a video game. So we're not going to really see many changes happen, ladies and gentlemen. It's quite unfortunate, but the good thing is that now, thanks to a little bit more of an even playing field on Twitter, we can absolutely call out these losers, and they cannot hide behind either a banhammer or a fake narrative any longer. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.